Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need. From athletic stuff, like a full-court pickup game, swish, to athletic-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace. To nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
Episode 671, how the Bad Bunny Super Bowl Backlash reveals the hidden architecture of trust. If you paid attention to the Super Bowl halftime show this year, you know the performance by Bad Bunny didn't just dominate music headlines. It ignited a national argument about culture, values, and trust. Members of Congress condemned it. Commentators defended it. And social media, well, predictably, it split and split passionately.
Of course Bad Bunny hates Trump. So does Taylor Swift. Okay, let's stop pretending.
We got one for you tonight. My name is Jon Stewart. Great show.
President Donald Trump publicly criticized the performance, calling it inappropriate for a family event watched by millions. But the interesting part is not the performance itself. The interesting part for me is what happened psychologically. Because the backlash wasn't just about music. It was about whether people could still trust the National Football League to represent what they believed the Super Bowl historically stood for.
First, I got to tell you, what a weekend. Super Bowl Cindy. And what a game. What a game it was.
Some saw bold artistic expression. Others saw a violation of expectations. And that split tells us something profound. Trust is not universal. Trust is filtered. Filtered through values. Filtered through memory. Filtered through expectations. And filtered through a perceived identity. And if you don't understand how trust is filtered, you will misread your audience in business, leadership, and relationships. So today, we're unpacking the architecture of trust, how it's built, how it's broken, and how you can engineer it intentionally. Trust is perception before it's proof. Let's start with a psychological truth that many high performers will resist. People don't decide trust logically. They decide it emotionally, then justify it logically. Neuroscience backs this up. Research from Antonio Damasio's work on decision-making shows that emotional processing in the brain activates before rational evaluation. The amygdala, the emotional threat and safety detector, well, it fires faster than the prefrontal cortex can analyze facts. So the translation? Your brain asks, am I safe, before it asks, is this correct? That's trust. Harvard research on leadership credibility shows humans evaluate others primarily along two dimensions: warmth, that is their intent, and competence, that is their capability. Before people evaluate skill, they subconsciously scan for signals of intent. Do you care? Are you safe? Are you aligned with me? That's why reactions to the halftime show were immediate and emotional. People didn't wait for analysis. They felt their judgment first. Social neuroscience calls this thin slicing, the brain forming rapid trust impressions from microsignals like tone, symbolism, posture, and cultural cues. In business, this means people trust you or distrust you long before your resume enters the conversation. You can be highly competent and still lose trust if emotional perception is mishandled. Skill without emotional safety creates distance. Skill with emotional safety creates influence. That's not weakness. That's human wiring. Elite communicators learn to manage perception because perception is the doorway to trust. Trust is filtered through value systems. Now, here's a personal story about me and my wife. We're complete opposites in so many different ways. My wife and I judge doctors, for example, and their trustworthiness completely different. She prioritizes bedside manners. Are they present? Are they empathetic? Are they warm? If a doctor is brilliant but cold, her trust drops immediately. Now me, I'm outcome driven. Track record. What's their precision? What's their competence? Let me see what they've done before. He could have the personality of a porcupine. If the results are elite, I trust him. Same doctor, same facts, different trust conclusion. Why? Because trust is not objective. It is value weighted. Some psychological research shows people trust individuals who reflect their moral framework and identity priorities. Studies from Jonathan Haidt, Moral Foundations Theory, demonstrates that humans evaluate behavior through value lenses: care, fairness, authority, loyalty, purity, and weight those differently. That's exactly what happened in the Super Bowl Backlash. Some viewers prioritized artistic expression and representation. Others prioritized tradition and cultural boundaries. Each group wasn't debating music. They were debating which values define their trust. And the moment an institution appears to violate your framework, trust has just been lost. In business, this shows up constantly. Clients, their trust is based on shared worldview. Employees, their trust is based on fairness and the signals you send. Partners, their trust is based on alignment of principles. If you ignore value systems, you misread trust entirely. Trust grows fast when people feel this person understands my priorities. Understanding precedes persuasion. That's why emotional intelligence isn't optional, it's operational. Trust depends on predictability. This is where the NFL example becomes so instructive. The backlash wasn't just only about the content. It was about predictability. For decades, many viewers developed a mental model of what a Super Bowl halftime show represented. Family-safe spectacle, broad appeal, cultural neutrality, shared national moment. When an institution builds decades of expectations, it creates a trust contract. Not written, just psychological. Organizational psychology research shows trust is heavily tied to behavioral predictability. When institutions act outside established patterns without preparing their audience, the brain interprets that as instability. Instability triggers caution, and caution erodes trust. From the protesters' perspective, the NFL broke a long-standing expectation pattern. Whether someone liked the performance or not is secondary. The trust fracture came from, this isn't what I thought this event stood for. Neuroscience research on predictive processing explains why this matters. The human brain is a predictive engine. It constantly is anticipating what will come next. When predictions fail, the brain generates a prediction error signal associated with stress and uncertainty. Institutions that abruptly shift identity create psychological friction. That friction isn't about politics. It's about violated expectation. And violated expectations is one of the fastest trust eroders. This doesn't mean that the NFL must freeze culturally forever. It means if you change directions, you must manage the trust transition. In business, this is critical. If your brand promises one thing for years and suddenly pivots without explanation, customers feel betrayed, even if the new direction is objectively fine. Trust isn't only about what you do. It's about whether your behavior remains interpretable. Predictable behavior creates emotional safety. Safety sustains trust. Trust multiplies performance. Trust isn't sentimental, it's structural. High trust environments outperform low trust every time. Research from Paul Zak on oxytocin and organizational behavior shows that high trust teams exhibit greater collaboration, higher productivity, more innovation, lower burnout, and stronger loyalty. Oxytocin, the neurochemical associated with bonding, rises in environments where people perceive fairness and predictability. That neurochemical literally improves cognitive performance. Distrust environments that elevate cortisol. Cortisol narrows thinking and increases defensiveness. So trust isn't just emotional, it's neurological fuel. This is why companies with high trust move fast. They spend less energy guarding themselves. Trust reduces friction, and friction is expensive. In leadership, in sales, in partnerships, in marriage, in friendships, trust is the multiplier that makes everything lighter. Without it, progress feels like pushing uphill. So here's some practical applications that will help you engineer trust. Study how your audience defines trust, not how you define it. Observe what signals they respond to. Is it data? Is it warmth? Is it authority? Is it tradition? Is it innovation? Speak in their trust language. Understanding this is the gateway to your influence. Signal warmth and competence. Research shows people trust leaders who balance both. Too much warmth without capability feels weak, and too much capability without warmth feels threatening. The sweet spot is visible care plus visible mastery. Protect predictability. Consistency is so underrated, and it's an underrated power. Keep promises. Stabilize emotional swings. Maintain standards. People trust the person whose behavior becomes forecastable. Predictability isn't boring, it's security. So here's the big takeaway. The Super Bowl backlash wasn't just a cultural debate. It was a live demonstration of trust mechanics. People weren't arguing about choreography. They were reacting to expectations, values, and identity. And the same dynamics play out every day in your business, in your leadership, and in your relationships. Trust is not accidental. It's engineered. The professionals who rise fastest are not always the most talented. They are the most trusted because people follow trust before they follow brilliance. And if you want to scale your influence, your income, your leadership, you learn how to architect your trust, build it, grow it. And that's exactly what we do here at TW3. No surface motivations, no empty tactics. We build professionals who become trusted authorities. Because when trust rises, sales accelerate, partnerships expand, teams stabilize, and opportunities multiply. If you're serious about leveling up, step inside the rooms where trust skills are sharpened.
So we hope you've got a lot out of the content today. Please take a few minutes to give us a 5-star positive review at terrywilson3.com/review. This helps us promote our content and continue to reach more and more people. Again, thanks for being part of the TW3 community here at terrywilson3.com. Please like and share our content, and we will see you soon.